get into section 4, per capita and proportions. Last week, we discussed proportions. Of course, we did many problems in the homework and in the quiz. Section 4 involves these what if problems. And that's another way of saying we're going to do some word problems with proportions. Problems in these sections will solve expected value. So it's like, I guess, what if value. What if this was the case? What would the value be? So let's just get right into an example and it'll clear everything up. So the first example, we see this table with cities in Indiana, Indy, Muncie, Carmel, Lawrence. Okay, the sales figures for each city and the number of customers. Well, this is just a made up scenario of, I don't know, let's say it's some business. But let's find the expected number of sales for Indy if it was proportional to Muncie with respect to its customers. Okay, so with respect to its customers, we're looking for the sales. That's like saying let's say, what if we didn't know the sales figures for Indy? What would it be if it was proportional to Muncie? So we need to set up a proportion with the customers and then all of the knowledge we have with Muncie. So on the right hand side, you see the values for Muncie, the sales figure over the customers. On the left hand side, you see an unknown number, x over 60. Okay, that's 60 that we have for the customers. So let's solve for x. We can do that by multiplying 60 on both sides. And if we multiply 4,012 times 60 equals, divided by 32, we're going to find $7,522.50. So that would be the sales for Indy if Indy was proportional to Muncie. Another way of saying Muncie is killing it. Muncie's doing awesome. They're doing better than if everything was proportional, they're actually doing better, right? Doing better than Indy is doing. So proportionally, they're doing better. Awesome. Let's look at another example. Find the expected value sales for Carmel if it was proportional to Indy with respect to its customers. So this time, we're saying, okay, use the information that's given for Indy and see what the sales figures would be for Carmel. So it's very similar to the last problem, except it's different cities. So x over 21, 21 being 21 customers for Carmel. On the right-hand side, we have Indianapolis. We have our sales figures divided by the customers. If we multiply both sides by 21, then we can find the sales figures. If they were proportional to Indy, Carmel's sales would be $2,384.20. Now, what can we infer by that information? Well, I can say that since Carmel's actual sales figures is $5,100, and if it was proportional to Indy, it'd only be $2,300. That means that you can either say that Indy's not doing as well as it should, or Carmel's doing better than it should. But judging by the last problem, I think I can say that maybe this Indy location is a little lackluster. Okay, but that means Carmel's doing great. So good job, Carmel. All right. Another example, what is the expected number of sales for Lawrence if it was proportional to Muncie with respect to customers? So this is a very similar question. We're looking for the expected number for Lawrence given the information for Muncie. So I'll do right-hand side with Muncie, left-hand side with Lawrence. And the unknown sales over 50 customers for Lawrence. If I multiply both sides by 50, I will find the expected sales figure, and that is $6,268.75. Now, what was the actual value? What was the actual sales for Lawrence? It was roughly $4,000. So that means, I suppose, that they are doing a little bit lower in sales than they would if they were proportional to Muncie, right? But maybe Muncie's just one of those locations that is, I don't know, just doing really well. And that happens sometimes in business. All right.